Recently, I have published my preview for the game Peacemakers Horrors of War that will be funded on Gamefound. For everyone who doesn't want to watch the entire video or who doesn't like timestamps, I have extracted just the review from that video so you can watch it in like a shorter video right here. I hope some of you will enjoy that. Alright, roll the video. I hope you enjoyed it so far, because that marks the end of my playthrough of Peacemakers Horrors of War. But what do I think about the game? Well, a lot, let me tell you. First of all, the components are stellar, but that is a given with Snowlight design. Everything has an amazing quality here. The cards feel great. The die is really nice and chunky, and the meeples don't only feel great, but also have been screen printed wonderfully. Just look at how adorable these are. You can take a look at them close up a little bit more in my unboxing, but these are just wonderful. Also, check out the markings here. Not only for the cards, for the different chapters here, right? But also for the different animal meeples here. You see? This is all like printed on here, so you exactly know where these meeples are and where the cards are you need. This is such amazing attention to detail, but the highlight is the soft PVC bases. Yes, we know attachable miniature bases from other games, but not made from this material. With this soft PVC, the bases can be easily attached and removed. Still, they firmly rest at the underside of the meeple and don't fall out. This is peak design. There's nothing to criticize in regard to the component quality of Peacemakers, but as I said, that is a given with all games from Snowlight Design. The insert is great as well. Keep in mind that this is only the prototype, so to speak. Sami is still working on the insert and perfecting it. I'm sure it will be as good as it can be. In the final version, all components will stay in place without needing baggies. So you can just put all of these tokens just in here and they won't fall out. And all cards will fit sleeved, since the tabs between the decks here will be made just a little bit smaller. Additionally, the meeples will get a little bit more space here, so you can take them out of the insert more easily. Then the insert will be pretty much perfect, and setting up the game might be even quicker. Also, the welcome letter is a great touch. It tells the very first steps and does a great job of doing so. The welcome letter in Lands of Galza was great as well. Sami, please always include those in your future games. The theme and arts are amazing as well. Just like the other games, Snowlight Design has paid great attention to these two aspects. The game's art looks stunning and the theme is fantastic. At first sight, it's definitely darker than the other games, but only at first sight. Lands of Galza had a few darker storylines as well. Also, the theme of you trying to achieve peace between two factions at war is incredibly unique and special. And unfortunately, this topic is also timeless and nowadays even more relevant than before. The rulebook is done really well. It's a breeze setting up the game and getting started to play. This has been highly improved from the original game. You remember how I timed my setup at the beginning of this video? It took me 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Even if you don't know the game, it will take you a maximum of 3 or 4 minutes. Well, the old game took me about 10 to 20 minutes to set up. I'm not even exaggerating here. I think you can see the huge difference here. It's great how the same game could be altered in such a way that you can get started pretty much immediately. One thing that could be improved though is matching the portraits to the respective meeples. I managed to match them, but some players might have issues here. Maybe it would be a good idea to include a small image of the respective meeple in the bottom corner of the portrait. Then again, the map books still use the old art, and Sami told me they will be changed, so I'm sure these issues will be solved with the final version. Speaking of the map books, they are really great. The design here is really well done. You just need minimal space around them, which makes planning the actually required footprint for a game very easy. You just need like the size of the map plus a little bit on the sides. That's it. One issue I had with the original game was that you could get close to your goal by actually defeating units. Or like not defeating them but actually hurling them, right? And that they would be defeated faster. Thematically, that was a slight issue since you're supposed to be peacemakers. In the new version, you can still do that, but at a cost. The added horror cards really add to the theme. These weren't part of the old game, and I really appreciate them now having been added. Also, the horror cards have quite strong effects, either hindering your overall progress greatly or forcing you to go for different attacks and play differently. The card play feels a lot smoother than in the original. This is due to several implementations and improvements. For example, being able to draw more cards when using specific walk actions on the resource cards is a really great implementation. Also, different schemes can become stronger when different characters use them. I showed that to you in the beginning. That really sets apart the characters from each other, especially because you can trade cards. That adds a lot to actual player interaction. I also enjoy that different animal folk really do play differently, which makes the game very dynamic and exciting, and I'm talking about the nations at war here. It definitely keeps you on your toes at all times. The different player counts are solved well too. You have 4 cards you draw each round for all players. So at 4 players, everyone receives 1 card, while a solo player gets all 4. A solo player can move less than a 4 players, but doesn't need to trade cards to access them. That's all the balance needed, and this is very elegantly solved. But the game not only added new and improved things, but also stripped things away to streamline the game. There are no more compasses you set up, which is like you did in the old game. So these like kind of showed you like the direction the armies go. It was just more things that you don't really need. There are way less setup steps here. There are less scenarios, but the ones present are enhanced with challenging and engaging achievements that change the gameplay quite a bit. I just didn't show them to you because I don't want to spoil too much. And also there's no campaign anymore. That means that the structure now consists of different scenarios that don't depend on each other. So getting together groups is much easier than before, since you can just play a single scenario, but still have the option to play all of them as if they were a coherent campaign. Also, this really adds to the replay value of the game. These are all changes the game really needed to be able to shine. Something else that was removed, for example, is like these different colored bases. I mean, in essence, you don't need different colored bases if you now have like meeples in different colors, right? Then you know which faction belongs to, or which meeple belongs to which faction. So that is totally fine. There aren't a lot of negatives I can say about this game. Sure, the game is exploring a concept that board games haven't ventured into before. So the gameplay concept can be a bit hard to grasp at first. That definitely holds true for the original, but this new version has been streamlined so much that you just need 2 or 3 rounds to fully understand how this game works. And another thing I want to mention. I personally enjoy putting these small tokens on the map, but it can become slightly fiddly at times when you have to move them with the character. That's just something you should know. As I'm packing up this game, which is also a very quick process, just 1 or 2 things that I wanted to mention as well. What this game does actually is it goes against so many things that we are used to as gamers, as board gamers, right? As a board gamer, you always want to do as many actions as possible in your turn, right? Because more actions mean more good stuff. Well, in this game it's differently. In this game you are very tactical and sometimes you don't want to do anything. You saw that in my playthrough. Sometimes you just want to collect cards and just watch. Because at the moment it's fine. No matter what happens at the moment, everything is kind of under control. You can kind of see how everything plays out before you intervene again. And that is something that I think I've never seen in the game before. And that is one of many things that make this game so special. All in all, Dawn of Peacemakers, the original, was a game that explored new concepts in board games as well as a timeless and important topic. Peacemakers, this new edition of that game, is the best version it can be. The gameplay has been streamlined, superfluous aspects have been removed, and new things have been added that greatly improve the game, such as achievements, better card effects, an improved setup time, unique characters and faction strength, as well as a stronger emphasis on theme. But despite all of that, the core game is still there, and that is wonderful. The game now really feels like the game it always should have been, and I can't wait to explore it more and show it to my friends as well. I'm a little bit sad that I will have to send this prototype copy on to the next reviewer, but I can't wait for the production copy to land in my hands. If you just remotely enjoyed what you saw in today's video, I highly suggest you check out the campaign. You'll find the link to it in this video's description as usual. Well, you made it to the end of my preview of the game Peacemakers Horrors of War. As usual, I'd like to thank you all for your support. That means the world to me. I especially want to thank my patrons who are supporting me on Patreon. The biggest thanks go out to Thagono, who is my biggest supporter at the highest tier. That is very generous. As you know, you can also support me on Patreon, and you can also join my Discord server to hang out with me and my amazing community. Generally, I'm always thankful for any support, including likes, comments, and especially subscriptions. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video or on my Discord server. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.